to one and all present here. I'm Yoga Lakshmi of class 11. Today we are present here to celebrate our 75th Independence Day. In this day, we are remembering our freedom fighters' sacrifice and their courage. Now, we are present here to talk about the most common thing which is related to our day-to-day life. The topic of today's debate is what makes mind and body healthy, digital games or physical games? Here we have two teams. Team A is going to talk in favor of digital games. Team B is going to talk in favor of physical games. In Team A, we have Harini, Catherine, Darun Kumar. In Team B, we have Joel Irwin, Sanjay and Naneshwar. Let me call upon Harini of class 7th who is active and attentive in class.
A warm welcome to one and all present here. I am VB Harini from class 7. I am here to speak in favor of digital games. Digital games are good for our real life situation. They help us to improve in test scores, teach life and job skills, improve the function of brain. I have a question to my opponent. How many of you are aware of the game called Subway Surfers, Temple Run and Pokemon Go? If you say no, none of us would believe.
Yes, we will not say no. Even I play those games.
These are the heroic games which not only engage us but also helps to stimulate our brain and help us to take decisions quickly. These games is not only for fun or entertainment, it is also stepped into the field of education, military and medical training to teach tool and strategy. Researchers have found that digital games improve our ability to solve problems and to do multitask. Is all these qualities are there in physical? No, right. So I conclude by saying that there is no age limit for playing digital games. Let's all play a lot of digital which makes you mentally stronger. Finally, I say that digital games is not your brain spoiler but your brain booster. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Harini is telling that physical games improves our mental ability to solve the problems and to do the multitask. And she also stressed that the physical games are not a brain spoiler, instead it is a brain booster. Now let's call upon Joel Irwin of class 8 who is very creative and a young YouTuber.
A warm welcome to everyone. My name is Joel Irwin from class 8. I am here to speak in favor of physical game. Physical games that are played in open air like football, cricket, hockey. Physical games that are played in open air exercise all the limbs of the body and makes us physically fit. But on the other hand, video games makes us addictive. It releases dopamine into our system which gives us a feeling of pleasure and tells our brain to do it again, do it again. Am I right, my friends?
Yes, you're right, Joel.
John Hobson was a game researcher at Microsoft Game Studio. He is also a doctor of behavior and brain science who write about game design. Remember, even though video games have their own place, they should occupy less time than what kids need to devote to exercising, socializing, studying and sleeping.
Yes, that's the main point.
Video games can play a positive role in our child's life nowadays, but we should be there to help set limits. Physical games learn us to obey rules, virtues, to organize things and sporting spirit in us. Everyone taking part in physical games to show his best and try his skill. All the players are obey the rules of the game that they play. If any player plays foul game, immediately the referee pulls him out. In this way, they learn to play a clean game according to the rules. If children are exposed to the virtual world like mobile phone, TV, they are not able to reach their milestone on time. So I would like to end my speech by raising a question to my opponent team. Whether all these qualities are there in digital game, let the audience and the judge will decide. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Joel is saying that the physical games help us to guide and obey the rules and regulations. Okay, now let's call upon Catherine who is calm and clever.
A warm welcome to one and all present here. I'm Catherine from class 8. I'm here to speak about digital games. Digital game requires lot of concentration and attention. Video games can increase the brain's gray matter. It helps to reduce stress and improves concentration, and it also serves as source of income for some people. Moreover, it improves problem solving skills and improve decision making. Nowadays, online gaming is the leisure activities by many people, whereas in physical games, we see a lot of shoulder and elbow injuries in young athletes involved in a baseball, tennis and overhead sports. It causes knee problems. For jobless youngsters, digital gaming provides a lots of basic level of income to manage their fundamental expenses. At times, young girls and boys get so excited that they put lots of physical strain to their body. It even causes dehydration. This causes harm to their physical and mental fitness. I have a question to ask my opponent that do digital games cause dehydration? Does it cause harm to body and mental fitness? Do digital games make any injury? There is no perfect issues to say. Is all these good qualities are there in physical games? No. So these outdoor games are neglected nowadays. So I conclude by saying that there is no good qualities in physical games. So digital games only improves our brain to take the decision quickly, and it also a stress reliever. Thank you.
Yes, it was great, Catherine. Now let's call upon Sanjay, who is a great volunteer with sportsmanship.
A warm welcome to one and all present here. I am A. Sanjay from class 8. Today I am here to talk about the benefits of playing physical games. Several players have to combine together as a team, and they have to play under the leadership of a captain. They learn discipline, develop team spirit. Sport builds leaders. Sport helps in making friends easily. These games call for several manly virtues such as courage, endurance, patience and presence of mind. While every other study seems to draw opposite conclusions about the social efforts of playing violent video games. Be aware of how violent games affect your children. It has negative effects on the behavior of the child. For example, angry through tantrums if it is not given the mobile phone.
Yes, you're right, Sanjay. We can see in all houses nowadays.
If you are worried that your child is too obsessed with games, then it is the time to sit down and talk. Be sensitive and non-judgmental. Try to agree on a reasonable amount of space to occupy in your family life. Internet connected games make it easy to hang out with friends after school without ever leaving home. But this type of virtual get-together is no replacement for actual face-to-face interaction. Physical games play an important role in the overall development of the body and mind of a child, a teenager, and even an adult. Video games might limit your academic progress, and my opinion is to play a lot of physical games. It keeps us fit from all kind of diseases. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Yes, you're right, Sanjay. It was a great message. Now let's call upon Darun Kumar, who is very clever and charming boy in his class.
A warm welcome to one and all present here. I am VB Darun Kumar from class 8. I am here to speak in favor of digital games. Due to our daily busy lifestyle, we don't have time to mingle with our neighbors and friends. Still, we need to know and learn some games. In such case, these online chess and carom help us to engage. Nowadays, many of us live in a gated community and apartments. Most of our parents are working. So, those children can't be taken out by their parents every time when they wanted to go out. In such situations, these children can play digital games in their home in front of their parents. How many of you agree that?
I agreed that. Even audience agreed that.
During pandemic situations, didn't we use digital and mobile games? 1 year before, we were not able to meet our friends and play with them. Didn't we all get frustrated?
Yes, we all felt frustrated during that pandemic situation.
During that time, these digital games was only our best companion. Digital and mobile games are definitely a boon for working parents who can't take their children for outing due to their busy schedule. Our generation is not like our previous generation. Parents can't let their 4 or 5 years kids outside to play alone. They must be noticed by their parents every time because we are having threats in different forms for our kids. Safety comes first before physical strength and fitness. If you ask any parents, they will definitely accept it. For safety concern, I strongly recommend that digital games are more better than the physical. And I ask that our prestigious judge would consider our point and give a result in favor of digital games. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Tarun Kumar. You had placed a great social message among us. Now let's call upon Naneshwar, who is good in communication and an outspoken person.
A very warm welcome to one and all present here. I am Naneshwar from class 7. I am here to speak in favor of physical games. The game which played by physical is a good prevention from all kinds of diseases. Our physical activities are the only one way to stimulate us healthy. Now, I have a question to my opponent that what healthy reason is there in playing of digital games?
Yes, it's a valuable question, Naneshwar.
I have a question to everyone present here. How many of you telling that video games is useful to kids? But actually, the answers can be replied only by the parents. No one will say yes. Am I right?
Yes, you're right, Naneshwar.
Video games makes falling grades, neglect of hygiene, increased anxiety, disinterest in other activities. The physical games teach us discipline, neatness, teamwork, and a great thing, concentration in work. Every player has to sacrifice his personal gains and passion. The captain gives proper direction to his team without fear and bias. Thus, the player learns discipline and organization. The captain depends into leader of men in society in course of time. When an outdoor game is fought and lost, the defeated party accepts the results in good grace. The victors do not cast a fling at the player who have lost the game. Thus, a sporting spirit develops and the player learns how to be generous and fair to others. So, I conclude by saying that the physical games makes everyone mentally and physically fit and help them to concentrate in their goal. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Naneshwar is telling that physical games help us to stimulate our energy. Yes, physical games guide us in discipline, neatness, coordination, leadership and everything. And he also says that every physical games plays a vital role in every individual. Both of these team members had kept their opinion. None of their team's opinion was greater or lesser than other. As Joel said, digital games are more addictive because it releases the chemical substances dopamine and gives its pleasure and make us to do it again and again. As Darun said, during the pandemic situation, only the digital game was our great companion. Both these points are acceptable, but by the considering the growth and health of a kid, we need to suggest the physical games. So mobile phones are the great companionship for us during that pandemic situation. Future India will be question mark because of the growth of the child. If the child is playing the digital games, then how can the growth will be in a proper consult? No, right? So I conclude that physical game is very important. So encourage physical games for your children. Stay fit and stay healthy. Jai Hind.